I am your host. Pull out the big motherfucking guns. The Film Doctor.
Michael. No. Your little pea shooter, your pea shotgun.
Okay.
Pea shotgun. It's not doing it. Okay, buddy? It's not scaring anyone. It's not hitting anyone.
You know what it is killing?
No, it's missing, just like the way you...
It's killing the game.
At the bell!
Oh, God.
So...
Please don't do this. We lose half of our audience just from that.
And we're back in the attic. With another film to dissect. The 355, which you can catch on Peacock. But if you're silly like Michael, you rent it on Vudu.
See, they don't get the joke because they weren't part of that. So, as a comedian, you should probably learn how to tell jokes. For somebody talking about they're going to open up for Dave Chappelle,
You're renting it for $20. Yeah, check this out on Peacock. And NBC. Y'all got a little brand too. Comcast, NBC. It's all the same thing. Y'all got some money. Go ahead and afford it.
you got at least more money than me, especially that gas money. So without further ado, let's jump right into our movie review. Alright, it's your turn.
Why do you always want me to go first?
I don't always want you to go first, but I feel like there's certain movies that might come up where I'm like, I have to give my review on this. This is just not one of them. Go ahead.
Okay, so is it the saltiness of actually paying $20 when this was free? Does that contribute to this in any way?
Sorry that my pockets are not as deep as yours. So I had to work another extra hour or two in order to make up for that.
Okay, fair enough. So, I'll jump in here, the 355. Yeah. This is like, okay. I'm not gonna say this is a good film, because on technical film aspects, it isn't. But, nevertheless, this can be a guilty pleasure.
Can you say that point again?
I'm not going to say this is a good film, because on technical aspects.
Okay. Okay, keep going.
But it can be a guilty pleasure for some out there. It could be a nice little, I'm chilling on Friday, I want something new to watch, throw it on. That's what the 355 can be. But on technical points of film, if we're breaking this down, this is not a good film. Let's start with the story. So yeah, I feel like they picked locations that they wanted to globetrot to and tried to tie the story around that. For reasons for them being in these specific locations, which happens a lot of the time in Hollywood. And a lot of the story, I mean, I get it, but it's generic. It's so generic. It's a generic spy story. There are some major plot holes. I'm not gonna spoil this movie for you. That's not what we do here on Film That.
I don't think you can spoil this one.
There are some major plot holes in this film. The acting. Okay. Let's talk about the villain. Shall we?
I forgot there was a villain in it.
Am I supposed to take him serious? Because if I am, they did a real poor job of that.
I remember him now.
Yes, exactly. He's very forgettable. I don't take him serious at all. There was no, I mean, the cast has great actors and actresses. Or I should say actresses and actors, because there were women in this movie.
Did it though?
Lupita's a good actress.
Just not in this. Wasn't one of her best
Yeah,
roles.
they didn't do a good job in this, but their overall body of work, there's still some good actors in here. Sebastian Stan's, there's some good actors and actresses in here. They just didn't give a good performance.
They weren't on top of their shit this time.
Yeah, this time.
They'll try again later.
Yeah, And then, sometimes I rarely come on here and say cinematography was bad, but was it just me, or were they intentionally picking some bad camera angles?
I personally don't look at the camera angles, more so like how it's filmed to make it different than just one camera shot or a couple of switches here and there like you would on a TV show.
Which they did, which is why they didn't do anything special cinematography wise, right? But like there were some bad camera angles in this, like some seriously bad camera angles, and like
like what?
There was a scene, especially at the end, and I think they were kind of trying to do the camera underneath the table to kind of show the fight or whatever, but there were like body parts that were cut off that I could visibly see, and they're trying to make it like a full body shot. When the production and the story and the acting is not good, it's not a good film. I'm sorry. And so for me to, come off of our previous review and give Antlers a D, if I'm giving this a technical grade, B+, C- at best.
Wow. Wow, and you know what's funny is you actually told me, we should actually go to the movies and see 355. We should review 355. Do you remember saying that to me? This motherfucker just gave it a D something?
C- being generous. B+ being accurate. And I will say this. The technical aspects of this film do not make it a good film, but it can be a guilty pleasure. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, here's what I have to say. I already hate when they, and it's not, I feel like any girl followers, our subscribers might go down after this comment, but I'm just getting a little burnt out and tired of the girl empowerment. Like, well, they can be just like James Bond. Like, why is this computer geek played by Lupita? She's also trained just somehow with guns and beating up people and stuff. There's just, like you said, loopholes where you don't really know their backstory, where they come from. In terms of when they meet, they just meet and it's like, we've been together a while and blah, blah, blah. You don't really get that sense of history. The villain, I won't say that I'm shocked when they reveal the villain and the connection with stuff and him doing stuff. The only shocking point, and I would say that this is the only spoiler, there's a scene, I won't describe it in depth, but I will say there's a scene where the villain has all the girls inside of the room and he wants them to give up some information, and he's like, if you don't do it, this is going to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember that.
And stuff that part.
It made no sense.
But that part in general, just the intensity of that from a villain aspect, that was the only part to me where it was like, okay, that's cold-blooded.
It wasn't intense for me. It was cliche, and honestly, it didn't make sense because he did things to separate people, but then he's like, okay, you get my information, I'm gonna go away. No. If we were being honest with a real villain and a real story, they've already seen too much. They gotta go see.
Well, that's true. There's 4 of them. I'm like, and I kind of hate those movies where they're like, we're gonna talk and keep you alive. Like, you already know, if you, as a villain in a movie, has watched any movies as a villain, then you know that if you keep these motherfuckers alive, they gonna come back and win. Name a movie where that didn't happen. I'll wait. Nothing? So, the only thing I can really say about this, for me, I love action movies, but even that, the action wasn't like fucking amazing. Like, I'm like, this is the best but I just like action movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the music, the acting, the character choice, the storyline, none of that was great, but to watch just an action movie, for anybody, it could be on some bullshit like Vanguard did a bad job even for an action movie. So that may be the one exception. Okay? Other than that, if I had to give this a rating, I can't put it inside of the C realm.
It can't go there. Just on the technical aspect, it can't be a C. And D+ C minus is me being generous. It really is.
I feel like D plus is like, don't watch this, which you pretty much said inside the other one, and I think you could.
Technical as it can be a guilty pleasure. Some people may actually enjoy this.
Then I'm gonna go with C minus.
There we go.
C minus, and that's being generous. And not to say like it's a D movie, but I just feel like anybody that appreciates action movies or those girl empowerment, you know, they're inside of this stronger role to kick butt, blah blah blah. And there's 4 of these motherfuckers. I highly doubt it. Unless they're clones of Ronda Rousey, I don't foresee that to happen. Okay. Unless you explain that in your story, it doesn't make sense to me. There's a lot of little things that I have problems with. So.
Yeah. You know, they all can't be winners, Michael. They all can't be winners.
And they all can't be Wonder Woman. So, without further ado.
Which Wonder Woman? I hope you're not talking about Wonder Woman 1984 because there's a lot of movies like that.
There are a lot of movies like Wonder Woman 1984. They're called The Vanguard. So, that's all we have for you guys today. Let us know inside the comments what you guys think. And as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, do that jazz. Maybe send up some smoke signals if you would like to. Maybe tie a little note to a pigeon's leg, send it on its way. Put a little message in a bottle, kind of stuff it down in there, throw it in the water, let it reach our shores. And as always, this has been another exciting episode of Film Addict. I'll be waiting on you.